Evening, folks. I have an important announcement to make. The back porch is done. There's a little bit of cosmetic work left to do later in the project, but it is structurally complete and weather tight. So for now anyway, it is complete. So let's talk a little bit about what we did. Take a little tour here. Starting with the foundation. The foundation is 6 concrete piers, and those are sitting on concrete footings, reinforced concrete footings that are 2 feet by 2 feet and about 9 inches thick. The piers themselves are concrete block. They're 16 by 16, and they have rebar that is sunk into the footing and going up through all of the cells on 2 corners, so 2 pieces of 1/2 inch rebar in each of the piers, and the cores are filled with concrete. The structure of the floor is pressure treated 2x10, so the perimeter beams are double 2x10s, and then we've got a triple 2x10 girder running down the middle there. So let's jump up here and take a little bit look at that. So this is one of the perimeter beams here. That's a double 2x10, and those are anchored to the concrete pier with 1/2 inch anchor bolts. We've got an anchor bolt that is epoxied into the core of that pier, and then we've got 1/2 inch lag bolts that are connecting that beam to the pier. And the floor joists are pressure treated 2x8s, and those are hung between the perimeter beam and the girder that runs down the center, and they're attached with galvanized joist hangers. So that's the floor. It's connected to the house with a 2x10 ledger board. You can't really see much there, but these perimeter beams are attached with a joist hanger, and the ledger is connected to the house with 1/2 inch bolts that go through the ledger and through the sheathing and through the rim joist on the other side of the wall that's down in the crawl space. And the bolts are 16 inches on center. The walls are supported by 6 posts. We've got 4 6x6 cedar posts, 2 over here and 2 over here, and those are full dimension rough sawn cedar, so they're actually 6x6, and the posts sit on the pier, and they are bolted to the beams with 1/2 inch galvanized bolts. Those are lag bolts, carriage bolts, so those go all the way through the beam out here, and they're connected over here with a nut and a washer. The other posts are 4x6 glue lambs, so we've got one of those here and one over here, and the glue lamb posts are holding up the ridge beam, and the ridge beam is a 4x12 glue lamb. So since this is a vaulted roof, we've got the structural ridge, which is a 4x12, sitting on a 4x6 post over here and a 4x6 post over here, connected with a heavy-duty bracket. And this post sits on one of the piers, and this post sits on a header that spans that doorway opening. And the rafters are 2x8 Western red cedar. Those are full dimensions, so that's a full 8 inches. And those are connected to the beam, the ridge beam, and the perimeter beams with structural screws, a mix of 3-inch and 4-inch structural screws. So what else we got here? We've got some outlook rafters. So we've got 4 outlooks, and those are connected 2 rafters back. Those are face screwed into through the rafter into the outlook, and those support that outside barge rafter, which is a rough sawn Western red cedar 2x10. And the last thing is the roof sheathing. So we've got actually 2 layers of roof sheathing. The inside sheathing is cedar, Western red cedar fence boards, and those are 1/2 inch thick and 6 inches wide, 5.5 inches wide actually. And then on top of that is 5/8 fir plywood, and we've got our usual Tyvek roof underlayment on top of that. Same stuff we've got on the floor here. So that is pretty much it. The beams are connected to the posts with 2 of those carriage bolts as well, same as the way they're connected down at the bottom. And this is pretty much how it's going to stay until we get near the end of the project. Near the end of the project, once the framing inspection is done, I'll finish the interior trim. We'll put some nice 1x cedar to cover those beams, and these glulam beams, these glulam posts are going to get trimmed out with 1x cedar as well, so they'll end up looking like the cedar posts when we're done with those. And finally, we'll put a finished floor down. Not sure what exactly that's going to be, but it's probably going to be tongue and groove mahogany. I have that on my house, and it's worked out really well. And it's pretty well protected in this environment, so I think that'll work nicely. It's farmed mahogany. It's real nice, and it's not that expensive. It's way cheaper than eBay, so that's probably the way I'm going to go. And just to get you oriented here, this is the kitchen great room, or it will be someday. And so from here, we've got a double French door that walks out onto the porch. We've got just a very slight drop, about 3/4 of an inch. So this floor will seem, the porch floor will seem like it's part of the kitchen. We can open the double doors, the French doors will open out. Since we're protected, since we're undercover, the doors can open out without any problems. That'll keep them out of the way. So we can keep this open in nice weather, and it becomes part of the kitchen. And we're also going to screen this porch, so this will be fully screened in, and there'll be a screen door right there. So this could actually be, 5-6 months out of the year, this will actually be kind of living space. Could be a dining area, could be kind of a living room type area, or both. It's big enough that there's room for a table and a seating area. So that is pretty much it. This is wrapped up, and we'll be moving on to the next project next weekend, and I'll have a video on that. See you next time.